Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work.
And so what pops into my head right now is Cheers, and just the tagline to Cheers is that everybody wants to go somewhere where everybody knows your name. And the ballroom scene is definitely a place where you can go, where everyone will know your name if you're fab, you know, if you got what it takes.
Well, the ballroom scene is one of the only communities that's come up with its own very complicated gender system, of course, that consists of butch queens up in drag, femme queens, butches, realness with a twist, and women, right? So 6 gender categories, right? And what's so smart about it is that it's not only talking about gender, it's talking about sexuality too.
You got 2 forms of realness, okay? You got butch queen realness. Butch queen realness can be a feminine faggot, well, I shouldn't use the term faggot, a feminine gay man that can actually look like a man on the runway in front of the judges for that hot minute.
You have sex sovereign, where to me sex sovereign is like me, I find feminine guys sexy, I find masculine guys sexy. But nowadays it's just like, to be sexy you have to have an 8-pack, you gotta have a nice face, and you gotta be real.
But that's a form of realness because it's an illusion, it's a look. Realness for me is definitely a way of life, okay? I mean, to me, realness is not just looking like a man on one way. Realness is when you come out your mouth, are you truthful all the time? Can somebody get the bottom line from you? You know what I'm saying? Do you speak from your heart constantly? You know what I'm saying? Do you do real things?
And then with feminine guys, usually we vogue, they walk a runway.
And then you got brothers, you know what I'm saying, that deal in safe, same-sex, gender-loving, and MSM behavior and everything. You got those kind of brothers that keep it real all the time. So, of course, they're different from the other brothers, you know what I'm saying? But so, realness sometimes can be kind of controversial in the ballroom because you have the ones that's real all the time. But then you have some of them, the guys that's more feminine that can look harder than them for that minute on the runway.
I think it's the sort of the connectedness amongst who's in the room and who's at the ball that makes it powerful. It's affirming, I think, in that, you know, much like the black church is affirming for black people, you're surrounded by your people, people of like minds, people who have similar goals in life. And I think the ballroom scene provides that same affirmation, particularly for young GLBT folks. It's a place to go where you are accepted.
Of course, the ballroom scene gets so much shit, for lack of a better term, you know, in black gay culture, that it's difficult to see whether or not people are going to start embracing the ballroom for all the good things that it has to offer.
House of ball scene, actually, house to me is where you find comfort other than home. It's like really a street family, and mentoring them is hard because if a child left home because they didn't want to listen to their parent, after a while, when you're stern with them, they don't want to listen to you too. So just like they hide and run from their parents, they do the same thing with me.
Lately, in the last year or two, you find that people aren't as precautious as they should be. You know, I believe people think at one time there was a cure for AIDS. That, or if I do get it, I can live forever like diabetes. That's not necessarily the case. There's different strains coming out, and when you're dealing with the ballroom scene, you're dealing with a lot of people who feel like they have to deal with prostitution, drug dealing, drug taking, and a lot of times this is fantasy for them. So sometimes we have to bring them back to reality in order for them to enjoy the fantasy.
But you know, being in a house, sometimes this is all some of them have. Like the family, like we have picnics, we go on trips together, we hang out together and stuff like that. Because some of the, like a lot of my kids are young, they live in group homes, and their mother, their father, they don't want to be bothered with them. So the house parents tend to be their only parents that they have. So we try to do things outside the ballroom scene as well.
I've learned that the children in the house are children to their advantage, and they grown-ups to their advantage as well. You know, so as soon as a child these days, I mean, before I would run behind them, chase behind them, try to get them to see right or wrong, whatever. As soon as a child come out of being a child and do something grown up, they're not a child no more, and I treat them just like the grown up that they are.
The ballroom scene should take up 10% of your life. 90% is yours to do what you need to do to be successful in life. And I mean, if you ask any of my kids, they'll tell you straight off the door, that's all I worry about. The ballroom scene really is just 10%. It's a hobby, something fun to do. 90%, you better be going to school, getting a job, getting your life together.
I guess gay men, especially gay black men, are really talented. So when they do enter the ballroom scene at a young age and they find that talent, either voguing, sex siren, whatever they do, they get life, and they're not used to getting life. A lot of people, they get attention, and they're not used to attention. So they want that attention, and they don't know nothing else but the ballroom scene. So that's what they do.
I got my house involved in the interventions, you know, in the HIV and AIDS interventions and everything. And being that I managed strippers and, you know what I'm saying, porno stars and everything for some years too, now I got a stripper intervention where my guys come in. Actually, they come in today at 5 o'clock where I do interventions with them. They talk about safer sex and everything. And these are untouchable people. But to me, you know what I'm saying, if you got the masseuse, if you got the strippers, you got all those people, they attract people. So if they talking about the safer sex message, then we got a whole nother industry of people that's talking about it now.